Hi, this is Jason from Sweaty Heroes Comic Bargains, and this is actually the last of 180 comics that I've gone through over the last few videos. And these ones are focused on basically Image, and we have a couple other titles that are just didn't fit into any other category really. So we got first of all we got an issue of Atari Force. Even though it's by DC, Atari Force was based on well, nothing really. It's just basically based on Atari games, but even the Atari games didn't really at that time in the 80s have any of these characters in them. But yeah, Atari First is kind of fun, and I think it could one day come back. It's very much in the vein of a Guardians of the Galaxy and what James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy, so I could see it becoming something eventually. Here is Alan Moore's Supreme, in which he basically was given license to say, okay, just Supreme was Rob Liefeld's Superman allegory, so just do whatever you want to do with Superman that you couldn't, and do it with Supreme. And so that's exactly what he did. Is he brought back a lot of the Silver Age kind of aspects that Superman had, that because he did write whatever happens to Man of Tomorrow. And actually, what's surprising is that Alan Moore's Superman stories were actually very positive. They were actually very happy, as opposed to like the Watchmen and later darker works. And he knew he seemed to understand what that a Superman story was very different than the Watchmen. But anyways, his Supreme is considered a critically acclaimed run. I found this in a dollar bin. This should be a fun read. Alan Moore Supreme. And he talks about even him having a kid supreme, and you can see some of the artwork is even inspired by '60s in some places. Telos was by Todd Izago and Mike Wieringo. Mike Wieringo, that guy was a great artist, and he did a great Spider-Man. And this looks like a fun book I've never read before, so that'll be fun to read. And then we have some issues of Cyberforce here by Mark Silvestri, which, in my opinion, was very much an X Men type book. Could have been originally could have been an X Men book or a spin off of X Force. Cybernetic mutants, not even trying to pretend like it's not like just another riff on X Men, but I always liked Cyberforce. I kind of thought they were fun to read. Oh, sorry, this is issue 6. I put issue 7 first, but this is from the original run. This is the original Wildcats trade by Jim Lee, back when Jim Lee actually drew comics. And I actually enjoyed it when I read this book originally. I bought it when it originally came out, the Wildcat series, even though they were late. But Wildcats was fun, and I wish that he would do something with that. Like, Wildcats was like, it was kind of like X Men, but they were, instead of mutants, they were aliens. But still, a lot of fun and enjoyable. And eventually they could do something with it, but I think that it belongs more when Jim Lee eventually sold all his creations to DC, so he could become you know publisher, eventually now publisher of DC, at least up in the 2020s. But I think that he made a mistake, and trying to combine Wildcats into the main DC universe, and Wildcats and Wildstorm characters should kind of be their own pocket Earth and stay that way. And yeah, but hopefully they'll be able to eventually do something with them in terms of movies. And then Project Superpowers Xmas Carol. Project Superpowers, this is Alex Ross doing the artwork, so it's really cool. But Alex Ross basically was taking some Golden Age DC characters, not DC characters, Golden Age characters that were public domain or were kind of forgotten by most people. They weren't by Marvel, they weren't by DC. They had slipped through the cracks, and trying to update them and keep the kind of, I think in some ways at least loosely keep the Golden Age continuity. I'm not sure about that. You can quote me on that one. And then doing something interesting with those characters. So you got, like, that's kind of cool. Like, it's just basically a flag that, what I mean, that's a ghost or something. Uh, and here's the villain, the clown. It kind of looks like a almost like what if like a Joker kind of character. But anyways, yeah, that's what we got here. Is we got Project Superpowers from Dynamite Comics, and this is a kind of cool read. And I think that can finally finishes off the 180 or more comics that I've had found at the local comic shop, or for a quarter. or $1, and these will be going to Vintage and Vinyl Amherstburg for $1 each. That's it for today. So from Wild Comic Bargains. Thanks. Bye.